This is the drive home with TT for the Mill drive home. Driving home from the Den, where it finished. Millwall 1, Nottingham Forest 0. 2 wins in a row. Get in there. Absolutely. Do you know what? The Boxing Day clash against Reading was about the win. It was about the 3 points. The performance wasn't great, in all honesty. And I didn't really try and pretend it was. Today, we had both. We had the 3 points and a far better performance. A Forest team bereft of confidence came to the Den and, to be honest with you, didn't look like getting anything out of that game. From start to finish, we pressed and harried and pushed and played some decent football today, and it was absolutely refreshing to see. Those of you that are not at games, the Den was back today. The atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. And it feels like we've just got our feel back. We've got back what we had last year. We started with Archer in goal. Well, it's an unchanged lineup from the last 2 games. Archer in goal, Romeo right back, Meredith left back, Cooper and Hutchinson in the centre of defence. Right midfield was Jed Wallace. Left midfield was Shane Ferguson. Central midfield partnership of Ryan Tunnicliffe and Ryan Leonard, the 2 Ryans, Ryan Eyre. And we had Elliott and Gregory up front. Do you know what? I can't think of a bad performance today out of any of them. Archer played well, made a good couple of saves. My man of the match, I'll go on to my man of the match because it's difficult today. You know, if I was coaching them today, if I was the manager, like I do with my under 8s, and on a game like today, no one deserves to be man of the match. I would have given it to every single one of the players because everyone put in a shift today. Everyone would have been in that dressing room now. They'd be sitting in there now and they'd be knackered, but they'll be buzzing because they've done everything they possibly could to give us the 3 points today. Even the players that came on, I thought handled themselves well, other than potentially Morrison, who's missed an absolute sitter. I did say in my question and answer session that a few of you watched, again, thanks for watching that, that Forest was susceptible to balls into the box and we always looked dangerous. They got away with a number of holds on Cooper and Hutchinson, as every team does, because they know that's the only way to stop us, but it didn't work for the goal. There was some quality delivery as well. I don't think we give enough credit to Ferguson for the deliveries into the box. They're always in good areas. You know, very rarely do we get balls cleared away at the near post. It's always a trouble. That ball right to the back stick over everybody and it's nodded back in. And in a way, we're unlucky we don't get more goals from that. But one of them we did get a goal from, and it's an absolute banger of a goal. Not very often do you see an overhead kick in football. Very rarely. I can remember a couple, maybe Etienne Verveer against Palace. We don't score many overhead kicks, but this was a special one. So Ryan Tunnicliffe is my man of the match, not only for the goal, because it was well taken, but for his all-round performance. Him and Ryan Leonard have got stick, and people have been calling for Ben Thompson to come back and Sean Williams. Obviously, he's out injured. And you can't really argue too much about how well they've done going forward. They've done a lot of the dirty work at the back, but they haven't really gone forward. But today they did go forward. Today they went with the ball. They seemed to always pick the right pass. They weren't pinging like 30, 40 yard passes, but both of them, I think they linked well together today. They seemed to pass to each other far more, which created space for the players on the wings. You know, Forest are a team that didn't look like scoring. Obviously, I think they probably would have had far more possession than us. Archer's made a good couple of saves. Archer when he was called on today, he did what he needed to do. One pretty tough one as well that we've seen him get beat at. One at the near post, but he's pushed it away to safety. So I thought Marlon Romeo had an absolutely fantastic game as well, running up and down the wing. You know, he didn't look like he was in any trouble. It's very difficult to have anything negative to say. To be fair, you know me, I'm quite a positive person anyway. And it was a game where, obviously, it's still us. So we're playing better, we're creating better chances, but we don't take them, and they still have a free kick into the 7th minute of 95 minutes injury time that they blaze over the bar. That was actually a foul on us, and I might as well go to ref watch now. Tony Harrington was the ref. He wasn't bad, to be honest. He wasn't one that was going to wreck our game. 50-50 decisions seemed to be guessed in both directions. There was a few that went against us that was disappointing. The one that would have brought the house down would have been the free kick at the end, because Ferguson's fouled and he's given it the other way. I don't know how he's done that. But we're fully deserving of the 3 points today. So ref watch, Tony Harrington, not too bad. We'll move on to... So I'll talk about Aidan when he came on. Like, Gregory picked up I don't know whether he's got a knock or whether they just rested him. Hopefully he hasn't. It's just a small little knock. But he's picked up. Aidan's come on, and it was, you know, he's played really well up front. I think he said to Harris, if you need me to play up front, I can do the job. He done really well holding the ball up. He laid it off. They've done a better job than Elliott, but that's not too difficult, to be honest. He ran with the ball at the defence, and obviously where Forest are pushing forward and we're catching them on the counter attack. But he's driven the one right at the end. He's driven right down the left side. He's cut it back, and how Morrison's missed it, I have absolutely no idea. I'm glad for his sake, for the boys' sake, that didn't cost us, because it would have been awful to have it snatched away from us when we should have been 2-0 up into injury time. But Aidan, I thought, done really well today. And then you look at the two at the back, Cooper and Hutchinson. You know, when we do it, when we push further up the pitch, we force them to play balls into the box from about 25 to 30 yard line. The only time I've seen us get done with that is Stoke this year. Stoke away a week ago, which seems like a long time. You know, that's what, 7 days in football. I know you're probably getting fed up with my voice, fed up with my face, but I ain't fed up with watching my team at the moment. But when we push further up the pitch, we force them to put balls into the box from 25, 30 yards. And then it plays right into our hands. Meredith, as long as they also keep switched on, which they do most of the time. You know, most of the goals we've conceded this season have been from individual errors. Well, there weren't any today. The only individual errors from the back two was potentially Hutch. He gave the ball away a couple of times with a couple of loose passes. But I thought they dominated. You know, Lewis Grabban come on, like pantomime villain. It was perfect timing, and he done absolute dog all. So that was quite good to see him suffer, because he's a muppet. And all through, like I said, 1, 2, 14, every player that played today, other than maybe Morrison and Elliott, done fantastically well. And even Elliott, you know, the last 20 minutes of the first half, he put himself about. He won a couple of balls and tried to hold up play. It's hard to say too much positive about him. We do need to look in the transfer window for another striker. But like I said, Aidan's put himself forward. 2 days. You know, I'm working New Year's Eve. I'm getting back at 6 in the morning, New Year's Day. I'll be having a quick sleep and then driving up to Ipswich, which is, of the back of 2 wins, is the boys should be buzzing now. Ipswich have had 2 defeats. It's no guarantee in football, it's the Championship especially. But we're not good. It's quite simple that we're not going to have a better chance than picking up all 3 points. Ipswich were awful at the Den. They've picked up a little bit. They picked up a little bit under Paul Lambert. But we've got to go there now, play the way we did today. You know, push them, press them, play the neat, intricate football that we did. You know, we looked a good side, and it's absolutely refreshing to watch. Thanks for the likes for the last video as well. I really enjoyed doing the question and answer thing. I'm not going to do that all the time. It's every now and again, just when a bunch of questions build up. As you can see, I am in the Rotherhithe Tunnel, and I'm driving home into Essex with my family. Zach, who's your man of the match?
Jed Wallace.
Jed Wallace. So you can't argue. You know, Jed put in an absolutely fantastic performance again today, and he always gives you something special. Why do you think Jed, Zach?
Because of his amazing work today.
Amazing work? What, his work rate's pressing, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You can't argue it. Ref weren't bad. 3 points. 6 points over Christmas. It's not a bad time to be a Millwall fan. Thanks for watching. Leave a like or a comment, or both. Thank you again. Come on, you Lions.